Tanner, start with you. Just how frustrating has this season been with the amount of time you've spent out, and what's the prognosis at the moment with your injury?
Yeah, it's been a crappy year to say the least. And with it, I think right now I'm just taking it day by day, week by week, and keep trying to progress.
Tanner, how worried are you about the health of your hand?
Like I said, I'm just, it's a slow process. I'll deal with that when with what happens but right now it's just a slow thing, and I just needed to go think about it day by day and not to get too ahead of myself.
Without getting into great detail, can you just go back to the night the injury happened? Like, what was the initial prognosis? Like, did you think that it was, not going to be this serious, obviously, but how would you characterize the injury that started the whole process?
Broken hand.
Okay.
I saw you skate, I think late. You guys had your team dinner in Vegas, and you were skating at that point. And obviously at that point, you must have been feeling pretty good about when you were going to return. Is that a fair thing? I think that was late November, American Thanksgiving, thereabouts.
Yeah. I ran into a speed bump and never kind of looked back.
The tough question, when this all went down, there was a period of time where the feeling was the organization and the medical team didn't necessarily handle this correctly. First time we're getting to talk to you since then. Do you feel that the organization, from a medical standpoint, handled your injury correctly?
I'm not going to share my personal opinions. I think, the people that need to know what's going on know, and I'm going to keep it that way.
Suggestion there might be a grievance involved, might there be?
You guys bring this up. I think that's the reason why I'm just trying to get my hand back. So, like I've answered twice already, I'm just trying to, go home and be a dad and be with my kids and be able to play at the moment. So it sucks, but yeah.
Myers, I just want to ask you just your takeaway from your season. How do you feel it went, and what are your priorities for the off season?
Well, it was a bit of a roller coaster, but I think a lot of guys would say, since January when changes were made, that I can say personally that it's the most coaching I've had, one-on-one since my early years in Buffalo with James Patrick, and I really enjoyed that aspect of it. And I think a lot of guys would say the same thing. And I think with that direction, I think we can, really start taking some steps forward coming into next year, getting a full year with those guys, and really try and improve as a group.
How optimistic are you about the improvements this team can make going forward in light of what you guys accomplished down the stretch after Rick and his coaching staff arrived?
Well, I'm very optimistic. I just think it's important for us to realize it's not going to get any easier. We had a lot of success at the end of last year after a change was made, and we came in this year and didn't have the start we wanted. So, we need to learn from that and realize that, this is a tough league, and we have to make sure that we come in, each guy's coming in shape and prepared to, work the way we did to end the year.
Couple of questions over here. Ilya, you tried to play through your knee injury, and then you needed surgery. How long have you been skating, and how much are you looking forward to next year and being healthy?
Yes, I feel good now, and we're in a good timeline now. We'll see. I have next month appointment with surgery guy who makes surgery for me, and we make decision when we start skate. Maybe it will be in the summer, of course, but we'll see which month. Maybe late June, early July.
Andrei, you might need some help with this question. How happy are you with your season and your relationship with the coach? He asked you to be as good checking as you are scoring. Did you understand where the coach was coming from when you weren't playing well?
видеть, и как ты понял, что он тебя требует.
Ну, скажи, пожалуйста, да, я понял, что он от меня требует, я буду лучше становиться.
Yes, he understands. He have like conversation with coach, and he knows what coach want to see from him, and he will be better and work about these things.
Coach said also, Ilya, you can help me with this one, that one thing about Andrei, he wants to learn, and he keep asking the coach, let's go look at video, let's go and do that. How much do you think that helped the relationship between those two?
Тебе помогает это, когда вы общаетесь, видео смотрите?
Да, очень помогает.
Yes, it's very help him, and he asks sometimes if he doesn't understand something, and he wanna be better, of course.
Скажи, я почувствовал, что стал лучше после того, как мы с ним начали работать.
And he feels better when he have conversation, and because it's more easier.
Andrei, question for you. What was the hardest thing about coming from the KHL to the NHL?
Что самая сильная разница? Ну, что вот тебе надо было перейти с КХЛ на НХЛ?
Скорость принятия решений. Знаешь, как перевести? Скорость.
Speed, like game is faster, and you need to make decision. You're faster, of course.
And Ilya, for you, do you think that next season you're going to be closer to 100%? Like this year you had to play through a lot. Next year, do you feel like you're coming in 100% when you get to that point?
Yes, of course, because I have a lot of time for recovery, and we staff a good job for feels better, and yes, it's my target. Like
one for Tanner and one for Andrei. Tanner, were you surprised when Quinn Hughes made those comments to the media about your injury?
No, it's I think from a teammate perspective, you love seeing a guy stick up for his teammate.
And for Andrei, you missed the rookie cutoff by a few months. Was that frustrating for you at all?
Ну да, то, что ты мог, но у тебя за счет дня рождения такое.
Ничего страшного. Ничего страшного. Работать надо.
It's okay for him. No problem.
He's got the bonuses.
Yeah.
Tanner, and hopefully you understand, I mean, this is the first time we've had a chance to talk to you, so obviously there's a fair bit of interest in the situation. I'm sure in your head you still see yourself and think of yourself as a hockey player, but with this injury, like, how will this impact your summer as you try to train? How limited are you to try to get ready for next season?
Very. I mean, I'm still going to approach this summer like I'm still a hockey player if I have to, right? If not, come back way behind the eight ball. So it's going to be a really, really hard summer. I know that. I'm prepared for it. Started to get back in the gym already, so it's actually nice to get moving again.
And how tough is it mentally? I mean, you talked about being a dad and a husband and all that kind of stuff. You've got a family life, but you're a hockey player. When the game is taken away from you like this, how tough mentally was this year?
Yeah, it was definitely tough. I think I try to live my life as normal as possible. With guys being home, I come to the rink every day. It's all I've known for 15 years ish. So. It's normal for me to come here and hot stove with the guys and catch up after a long road trip. Although it's not fun getting the group chat messages when they're having fun. I'm at home, but no, it's been a battle.
Tyler, last offseason, you guys went into it with a lot of hope, a lot of optimism, and just obviously this season didn't start the way you wanted. As a veteran player, do you challenge your teammates going into this offseason to prepare in a different way to not have the same result next season?
Yeah, I mean, you have to evaluate the situation and change based on how it went last year. I think a big part of it is starting with raising the standard of you know, what kind of shape you're in coming into camp. You know, I think we can all improve in that aspect, and you know, I think if you start there, you have some motivation in the summer, something to focus on, and then just build day by day. Come into camp ready to go, get in the systems right away, which we did a lot the second half of the year here, and I think it helped a lot of us. And you know, it's a lot of it comes down to a mindset, and you know, first part of it is making sure you're in shape coming into camp.
Rick has talked about wanting the team to come together to Vancouver before camp. Do you feel like that is an important part of building the team, not just coming to camp prepared, but coming in before camp and bonding?
I think it could help for sure. You get every single guy that comes in, and you know, you start developing some team bonding before camp even starts, and you know, I think that could help a lot.
Tyler, coming in from last season when you guys finished, you know, I mean, you didn't make the playoffs, but you guys were feeling good that the direction was right. Do you think you guys maybe didn't come in as focused, that you were a little too high perhaps on yourselves coming into the season?
I don't, it's tough to say now. I can't speak for, you know, each guy's mindset, but, you know, as a group, yeah, I just know we didn't like the way it went. So we have to try and evaluate things we can change, things we can improve on, and the way we come into camp and how we're preparing. So there's a lot to look at that way, and we have to try and learn from it. But, you know, I think what happened last year and coming into this season is going to give us more motivation to, you know, make sure we're that much more ready coming into the next season.
And for Ilya and Andrei, and Ilya, I'll start with you. You could ask Andrei after. What are your summer plans? How much will you be in Russia, and when do you think you'll be back in Vancouver to start training for the season?
For me?
Yeah, you first, please.
Yeah, I will be here next month probably for recovery, and after we'll see what's happening, because I need like treatment for my knee, and I can't stop it for a couple weeks or a week. I need to do this almost every day. Yes, yeah. We'll see after.
Okay. So you think you'll be here more than because of the medical treatment?
Yes, it's more easy for me. Yeah.
Okay. And Andrei, what are your summer plans? How much in Russia? When will you be back here?
Планы. Скажу, что еще не знаю планов, потому что не меняется каждый день. Я планирую, что сказать, просто в августе.
He can't say now his plan, because maybe next week he will be know, but maybe stay here a little bit, maybe fly somewhere, and his plan to come back in probably August plus minus.
Question for Tyler or Tanner. You guys have been here for a while. You've seen some of the young players grow. Do you think that they've grown enough to go into next season and name one of them captain, or do you think they need a little bit more kind of to understand what it takes to be a captain in this league and see how it goes, I guess, after next season?
You know, I think that decision will ultimately come down to you know, Rick and management. But you know, if you're looking at some of our young guys, you know, you look at Quinn and Elias. All I know is this year I felt like they took a huge step in a leadership role. They stepped up in the room. They got more vocal, and you know, I think their play spoke for itself on the ice. But you know, I think you know, for those two, the biggest difference a lot of us saw was you know, the steps that they took inside the dressing room, and I think they, you know, commanded the room a bit more this year, and it was great to see.
Tanner, are there benchmarks that you still have to hit in terms of, you talked about working out, for example, but in terms of resuming on-ice activity or skills work this summer? Is it something you're hopeful is in your next 3-4 months future?
Yeah, I think, you know, I'm going to try to be as positive as I can be. And, you know, definitely there's, you know, timelines in my mind that I would like to hit, but it's, and hopefully we do, and make everything way better. But it's still, you know, it's still such a slow process that not really have a, you know, specific time, you know, date-ish.
You've spent a career playing late into the season, living in dirty areas of the ice, and you've been injured in the past. I know you have to be careful about how you talk about this, but was there a moment after the first surgery where you began to realize that this might be something outside of what you'd previously experienced?
Yes, definitely. I think, you know, I've broken a few bones in my body. One I missed half a year with. So it's just a different, that was, you know, it went the proper way, I guess, and it just took that long to heal. You know, didn't hit any hiccups, and so it's, but yeah, now that I can, you know, I can go forward, you know, hopefully I can get back in the groove of things.
Two more, please.
Andrei, in English, I hope. How much fun was your first year in the National Hockey League? The goals, the relationship with the fans, you had a smile on your face almost all the time. How much fun did you have?
Мне очень понравился первый год.
You can do it.
Легко. Давай, скажи просто. Мне понравился первый год. Все хорошо. Будем работать еще больше. И было очень интересно играть.
He liked it so much in the first year because it's everything new, new league, new country, and he liked this experience, and he's happy to be here and ready for work for the next season.
Tyler, you mentioned, like, you were asked about both Petey and Quinn and about their leadership, and you mentioned how they're both vocal. We've heard a lot about Quinn being more vocal this season. Has Petey been more vocal as well? Because he's obviously more of a quiet guy, but has he been more vocal in the room?
A little bit more, yeah. You know, Quinn is obviously, he got more vocal than Petey, but, you know, that's just in Petey's nature. You know, Petey's a more reserved person, but, you know, there's a lot of different ways to lead. And, you know, I thought, you know, even being reserved, he still was more vocal than he had been in years past. And, you know, and definitely led the way on the ice this year.